Your suitcase is a hidden bomb. 10 hours in a cramped economy seat can kill you with a blood clot. The system is rigged against you. Airlines are hiding payouts of up to $1,550, while customs officers wait to slap you with a $10,000 fine for your watch. A single drop of CBD oil? That is 4 years in a foreign prison. The airport is a minefield, and they are banking on your ignorance to make a profit. Stop being a victim. Here are 12 rules to survive the system and keep your money in your pocket. Here is Rule 1 of 12. Over 3,000 lithium-ion battery incidents have been recorded by the FAA, making your high-end tech a potential firebomb in the sky. Aria, a 29-year-old photographer, found this out the hard way at Orlando International Airport, known as MCO. She was heading to a high-stakes shoot with her drone and a professional MacBook. As her gear slid into the X-ray machine, the belt ground to a halt. A security agent pulled her high-capacity drone power bank from the bin. Aria watched in total frustration as her expensive gear was seized on the spot. They are banking on your ignorance. Most high-capacity batteries are restricted or outright banned if they exceed certain limits. Expensive gear results in an instant seizure. Always check the labels on your devices. If a battery is over 100 watt-hours, you often need specific airline approval before even arriving at the terminal. A pro tip: cover the metal terminals with electrical tape to prevent sparks. Aria lost her gear because she lacked the technical spec sheet to prove it was safe. Agents have the final word, and they will always choose safety over your luggage. Aria made her flight, but her professional gear stayed behind in a disposal bin. Tech is a risk, but batteries are the least of your worries. You have cleared security, but the real trouble starts when you hit the legal minefield of international travel. Rule 2 of 12. Check your suitcase battery right now. That $400 smart suitcase could be the reason you are barred from boarding the plane. Theodore, a 34-year-old accountant, learned this the hard way at Detroit Metropolitan Airport, or DTW. He was rolling his sleek, matte black bag with a built-in USB port through the terminal, feeling like a high-tech traveler. Then he reached the gate. The airline won't tell you this until the last possible second. They profit from your lack of preparation. The gate agent asked Theodore if the lithium battery inside his bag was removable. Theodore shook his head. It was integrated into the frame. Stop. The agent immediately took his boarding pass. You can't fly with this, she said. Since 2018, major airlines have banned smart bags with non-removable batteries because they are massive fire hazards in the cargo hold. If the overhead bins are full and you are forced to gate check your bag, a non-removable battery means your luggage stays at the airport. Always buy bags with a one-click removable power bank. Theodore had to pay for expensive airport storage just to catch a later flight. A $15 portable charger is a much better investment than a $400 paperweight. Theodore made his meeting, but his bag stayed in Michigan. Smart bag, but a very dumb mistake. Knowing battery specs is vital, but it won't matter when the Border Patrol flags your luggage for something you didn't even know was illegal. Rule 3 of 12. Liam, a 27-year-old software developer, was just trying to keep his phone alive during his long-haul flight from Seattle-Tacoma International, or SEA. He tossed his heavy, 30,000 milliamp-hour brick into the plastic bin at security, thinking he was prepared for the journey. Then the conveyor belt stopped. The TSA agent held up the power bank like it was a dangerous weapon. "This can't go on the plane," the agent said flatly. Liam felt his stomach drop. He had paid $120 for that battery just last week. Without it, his 10-hour flight would be a total digital blackout. He stood there, helpless, as the line of passengers behind him grew restless. The airline won't tell you this, but size isn't everything. It is the watt-hours that count. Most airlines follow federal guidelines that cap lithium-ion batteries at exactly 100 watt-hours. Liam's 30,000 milliamp-hour bank actually totals 111 watt-hours. That is over the legal limit. To avoid this, always check the tiny print on your device. If it is between 100 and 160 watt-hours, you can often ask for airline approval at the check-in desk before you ever get to security. Do not wait until you reach the gate. If the label is worn off, they will confiscate it. They profit from your ignorance. Reality check. TSA agents have the final word. If they deem it a risk, no amount of math will save your gear. Liam had to leave his bank behind. A total loss. But losing a battery is minor compared to the massive fines you face when you cross international borders with the wrong accessories. Rule 4 of 12. Did you know that looking like $1,000,000 could actually cost you $10,000? Joseph, a 42-year-old insurance agent from Chicago, found this out at Warsaw Chopin Airport, or WAW. He was walking through the terminal with a flashy new watch and a designer bag he had snagged for a bargain at a market in Italy. He thought he was being savvy. He was wrong. At the checkpoint, a customs official stopped him. They didn't care about his passport. They wanted his wrist. Joseph expected a compliment, but the agent asked for a receipt. He didn't have one. In countries like France and Italy, wearing high-end knockoffs is a serious crime. These nations have strict anti-counterfeit laws. Officials can seize your items and slap you with fines reaching $10,000 on the spot. The airline won't tell you this. They bank on your ignorance. To stay safe, skip the bargain luxury items when traveling through Europe. If you own the real thing, keep a clear photo of the original receipt on your phone. Joseph lost his watch and his pride in one afternoon. Cheap seat, but a very expensive mistake. But the next trap is even higher tech. Losing a watch is nothing compared to the legal nightmare of carrying the wrong supplements into a zero-tolerance zone. Rule 5 of 12. Having even a trace of CBD oil in your system can lead to a 4-year prison sentence in the UAE. It sounds like an urban legend, but for Noah, a 31-year-old real estate agent, it nearly became a permanent reality during a layover in Copenhagen, known as CPH. Noah used CBD to manage his intense flight anxiety. He thought a legal purchase in the United States meant he was safe everywhere. He was wrong. The airline won't tell you this, but international drug laws do not care about your doctor's prescription or the hemp-derived label on your bottle. While Denmark is generally relaxed, Noah was heading to a destination with absolutely zero tolerance. At the gate in Copenhagen, he overheard a security announcement that made his blood run cold. One small vial could be classified as drug trafficking. Stop. He immediately disposed of the oil in a specialized bin before boarding his connecting flight. The system is rigged against the uninformed traveler. Always check the specific laws of every country on your itinerary, including your layover stops. It is often better to leave your supplements at home than to risk a foreign jail cell. CBD is not worth your freedom. Subscribe to beat the system. But even a clean bag won't save you from the hidden traps in your pockets, like the device you use to relax. Rule 6 of 12. Check your carry-on for that vape pen before you board your flight to Bangkok. Emma, a 36-year-old marketing specialist from Los Angeles, or LAX, thought her electronic cigarette was just a harmless habit. She was wrong. When she landed, the local police didn't see a tired traveler. They saw a smuggler carrying contraband. The airline won't tell you this, but in Thailand, vaping has been strictly illegal since 2014. Emma found herself in a windowless room, facing a fine that could climb to 30,000 baht, which is roughly $900. In some cases, it even leads to jail time. They are banking on your ignorance to collect massive settlements. Here is the fix. Leave it at home. If you are already at the gate and realize you have one, find a trash bin immediately. It is not worth the risk. Most travelers assume a fine is just a slap on the wrist, but in Southeast Asia, it is a legal nightmare. Reality check. While some tourists pass through unnoticed, authorities have been ramping up enforcement at checkpoints throughout 2024. Emma eventually paid a $500 bribe just to avoid a court date. Cheap habit, but a very expensive lesson. You survived the vape trap, but that is nothing compared to the money you lose when standard household tools trigger a security alert at the next checkpoint. Rule 7 of 12. Olivia reached the front of the security line at Oslo Airport, or OSL, her boots clicking on the polished floor. She was heading home to Dallas after finishing a renovation project abroad. In her carry-on sat a heavy-duty 25-foot metal tape measure. To her, it was just a tool for her job. To security, it was a potential weapon. An agent pulled her aside, holding the metal casing. "You can't bring this on the plane," he said flatly. Olivia felt a surge of annoyance. The system is rigged. Under many security guidelines, heavy tools over 7 inches in length, including metal tape measures, are restricted in the cabin. They fear the metal blade could be used as a sharp edge or the heavy casing as a blunt instrument. They are banking on your ignorance. Olivia didn't argue. She knew the agent was following a rigid script. If you find yourself in this situation, ask if there is a gate check option or look for an airport mailing kiosk. But the real fix is simple. Pack anything over 7 inches in your checked bags. Olivia gave it up to catch her flight. $20 gone. Small tool, but a big headache. You just lost a tool. But that is nothing compared to the money you lose when your flight vanishes. Our next move reveals how to get paid for the airline's mistakes. Rule 8 of 12. Did you know your high-tech vacation photos could end with a police interrogation and a confiscated camera? Sophia, a 25-year-old architect from Denver, or DEN, learned this at Istanbul Airport, known as IST. She was heading to North Africa with her $1,200 DJI drone, ready to capture cinematic desert views. But the system is rigged. In countries like Egypt or Morocco, that drone isn't a hobby. It is viewed as military-grade surveillance equipment. The customs officer didn't care about her portfolio. He saw a threat. He pointed at her bag with a cold stare. Forbidden. Just like that, her property was seized. No receipt was given, no apology was offered. They are banking on your ignorance. Stop. Here is the fix. Before you fly, check the specific drone laws for every single stop, including your layovers. If a country requires a permit, it can take months to process. Sometimes, the permit doesn't even exist for tourists. If you are transiting through a major hub like Istanbul, use the airport's left luggage service to store your tech before heading to a red zone country. Reality check. Airport staff will not help you retrieve a seized item once you leave the country. Research saves your gear. Sophia's lost drone was a tragedy, but wait until you see how your own face is being used against you. Rule 9 of 12. By 2026, 68% of major U.S. airports will have biometric scanners at every single gate. Your face is becoming your boarding pass, whether you like it or not. Isabella, a 28-year-old designer, stood at San Francisco International, or SFO, watching a blue light flicker on the person ahead of her. Her heart hammered as she realized her personal data was being harvested without a signed waiver. The system is rigged. It is a digital dragnet. Here is the fix. You have the legal right to opt out. When Isabella reached the podium, she didn't let the camera flash. She told the agent, "I'd like a manual identity check." The airline won't tell you this because they prioritize speed over your privacy. Federal guidelines allow you to bypass the scan and show a physical ID instead. Be ready to wait an extra 2 minutes for manual verification. Don't be a victim of convenience. Reality check. Opting out is your right, but the government likely has your photo from years ago. It is a small win for privacy, but a win nonetheless. Isabella made her flight to London scan-free, but the machine is always watching. Privacy is one thing, but it won't save your cash when airlines try to shortchange you on a canceled flight. Rule 10 of 12. Refuse the first offer an airline gives you when they kick you off an oversold plane. Layla, a 32-year-old consultant, was waiting at a gate in Zurich, or ZRH. Her flight to New York was oversold by 5 seats. The gate agent offered a meal voucher and a $200 flight credit. She almost took it. She was exhausted and just wanted to go home. But the airline was banking on her ignorance. They profit when you settle for less. Here is the fix. If you are bumped involuntarily, you might be entitled to serious cash. Real money, not just vouchers. Depending on the length of the delay, you could receive up to $1,550. Ask specifically for denied boarding compensation. Be firm, but remain polite. Ask for a check or a direct deposit right there at the desk. Don't be a victim of their bottom line. It isn't a magic wand, though. If the airline finds you an alternative seat that arrives within an hour of your original time, the payout drops significantly. But for long-haul flights from hubs like Zurich, it is always worth the ask. Layla did exactly that and secured a check for over $1,000. Subscribe to Beat the System. But even cash won't save you from the physical toll of a cramped cabin. That is nothing compared to the risk of a medical emergency at 30,000 feet. Rule 11 of 12. Charlotte, a 45-year-old librarian from Boston, or BOS, sat frozen in seat 24B on her way to a conference. 5 hours had passed without her moving once. Her right calf began to throb with a dull, heavy pressure. Sitting still for long periods in a cramped economy seat isn't just uncomfortable. It is a legitimate medical risk known as deep vein thrombosis. It can lead to life-threatening blood clots. The airline won't tell you this. They are banking on your ignorance while they pack seats closer together. Charlotte didn't want to wake her neighbor, so she stayed put. This was a dangerous mistake. Silence is not safety. Here is the fix. Every single hour, perform seat yoga for at least 2 minutes. Flex your toes, lift your heels, and draw slow circles with your ankles. Drink at least 8 ounces of water every hour to keep your blood thin and flowing. If you have a long flight, wear compression socks with a 15 to 20 millimeter ergometry rating. These simple actions keep your circulation moving. Aisle seats are your best friend because they let you stand up without asking for permission. Movement is your medicine. Usually, these small steps keep you safe. Charlotte finally stood up, walked to the back of the plane, and felt the tension melt. She arrived at her destination feeling refreshed instead of heading to the ER. One move saved her life. Rule 12 of 12. Have you ever stood in line, watching passengers cough up $75 for a carry-on that is just 1 inch too wide? William, a 51-year-old web developer, found himself at a crowded gate in Amsterdam, known as AMS. His bag was packed tight with his laptops and chargers. The gate agent was already eyeing the metal sizing bin like a hungry hawk. William knew the airline was banking on his ignorance to swipe an extra fee at the last second. It is a classic trap designed to catch tired travelers. The system is rigged to squeeze every cent out of your pocket. Instead of hiding, William took total control of the situation. He walked up to the desk before the boarding process even started. He offered a simple solution to the stressed agent. "The flight looks full. Would you like me to gate check this for free to save overhead space?" William asked with a friendly smile. Most airlines actually love this because it prevents boarding delays. They tagged his bag for free, right there on the spot. He saved $75 and skipped the overhead bin fight entirely. Smart move and a big win. Gate agents have the final say, but being the person who solves their space problem makes you an instant ally. William's bag went to the hold, and he walked on the plane comfortably. If you don't know these rules, the airport will take your money every single time. The airlines hate that you know these secrets. Hit subscribe to keep winning.